people, DuckTales Season 2, Episode 12 is finally the episode we've all been waiting for. In this episode, guys, Della finally makes it back to Mixed Up Manor to finally see Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Uncle Scrooge for the first time in 10 years. And guys, this episode has every single heartwarming element in it that I wanted from it. I mean, right from the beginning, even when Della walks up to the front door of the house, she tries to think of the right way to reintroduce herself to the boys, because the last time she saw the three of them, they were still in their eggs. So as luck would have it, the boys and Webby and Uncle Scrooge are just about to go on a treasure hunting adventure when they open the door and the person that they see on the other side is Della, and immediately Uncle Scrooge tears up and gives Della this very, very moving and emotional hug. And then he says, "I can't believe it's you, lass. After 10 years of being away, how were you able to make it on the moon this long?" And then she says, through good old-fashioned determination and sticking to all the rules of a honorable junior woodchuck. And at first, Uncle Scrooge and Della sort of get into this argument about how Della's been stuck on the moon for 10 years, and then Uncle Scrooge is like, we searched the moon, and then Della's like, not good enough, but then it turns out that they were just messing with each other, and then in my book, the most moving part of the episode, Uncle Scrooge says to Huey, Dewey, and Louie, "Boys, this is your mom, Della Duck," and immediately Dewey immediately runs up to Della, gives her a hug, and then Huey in this episode kind of takes Webby's role and basically gives Della all these questions, and then Della's like, I survived this long with the determination to see you, and I just adapted, and no, I didn't make any weird modifications to my prosthetic metal rocket leg. And then Louie is like, he's happy to see Della, but he actually confesses at almost the end of the episode that because their mom has been gone for the first 10 years of their life, Louie's not sure, at least not yet, that he Louis doesn't know basically how to have that how to have a mom basically in his life, because let's keep in mind, guys, for the first 10 years of their lives, all they've had was each other and 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 Donald, who Della makes several who Della calls out several times, and each time Donald's name is mentioned, we see him getting closer and closer to Planet Moon, and then basically Della in this episode, guys, is absolutely funny as anything, and it's going to be very interesting. And if this is any precursor to what she's going to bring to the series, I do believe that Della finally being back home is going to make DuckTales even more enjoyable. Now, obviously, they do have to address that since Della hasn't been around for the boys for since they were still in their eggs. Miss Beakley tries to say to Uncle Scrooge that I don't think that Della is right to be around this family or these children. She doesn't know how to be a mom because guys, she actually manages to do everything that Launchpad would mess up, but Della manages to do it almost 1,000,000 times worse. And then Uncle Scrooge says, well, of course she doesn't know how to be a mom. She's only been back on Earth for like 10 hours. But of course, Della doesn't hear Uncle Scrooge say that, and then she basically goes over to the garage and accidentally reactivates one of the first enemies of Uncle Scrooge that she destroyed, and this is really the first family confined takedown that DuckTales has ever had in its 33-year history, and as the episode and the conflict of this giant pharaoh monkey thing wraps up, it's actually the boys and Della that ultimately managed to stop the robot monkey by basically taking advantage of his sensitivity to sound. But ultimately, Della sees that the monkey's arm is about to crush Louis, and Della basically gets out of her prosthetic and basically holds on to Louis tight and basically gets in front of him, so if the robot's arm takes them out, they'll go out together. But luckily, everything's fine. The robot's been destroyed, and Louis finally says, "Thanks, Mom," and that's basically the end of the episode, guys. Oh, and exactly what you would have thought is going to happen to Donald happens to him, because now the commander of Planet Moon has taken Donald prisoner. And also, one more quick thing I want to say about this episode, guys, and this is record-breaking, history-making news in DuckTales lore, because Della reveals that the boys' original names were supposed to be Jet, Turbo, and Rebel. So again, guys, a very heartwarming, a very full circle episode, and also this feels like it 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 it, it could have been and probably should have been the real ending to season 1. But again, guys, Della Duck is now officially back on planet Earth. And can you imagine? Jet, Turbo, and Rebel, instead of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Crazy.